Hello everyone. Now I need to teach you more about the defect classification. What does this mean? After this section, you will be able to understand the severity of the defects to ensure about the showstopper. What is mean by showstopper? And you will be able to understand about the nature of defects and you will be able to know about the cosmetics defects. So the point is here about the bottleneck defect, critical defect, the major defects, and a minor or cosmetics one. Now, the prevent functions from being used no work. When we are talking about the what is mean by the showstopper. So anything which prevents function from being used, no workaround, blocking progress on multiple fronts. And another point I would like to say the blocker defines due to the major issue QA team can't proceed with the testing. Let's say if you are just entering a URL in the browser and the page is not in front of you, so how you can proceed further? So this is the blocker and showstopper. So this kind of issue is called as the blocker. Then the blocker example, as you can see, is unstable, unable to create an account due to JSON error. To log in into the app, username and password is required. On filling the first form, user encounter a showstopper. So this is you can see here that you just input, but input JSON is not valid. So you cannot proceed further. And this is the practical example of the blocker. And you can say to your development team that this is a showstopper. I cannot proceed further with the testing types. Now let's talk about the critical defect. The defects affects critical functionality or the critical data. It does not have a workaround. So unsuccessful installation, complete failure of the feature, web server gets halt on users attempting a login into the invalid username or password. These are all the example of your critical defects. And then major defects are basically the defects which major functionality or the data or it has workaround but not obviously and is difficult. So this is the major defect. An example of major defect is not functionally from one module, but the task is doable if 10 complicated indirect steps are followed into another module. For example, forgot password is non-functional in the application. Minor cosmetics are basically the defects affects the minor functionality or non-critical data. It has an easy workaround. Example, if you are talking about so minor feature that is not functional in one module, but the same task is easily doable from the another module. Let's take example of petty layout discrepancies or spelling or grammatical errors. These are the real-time example of your minor defects. And you can see the if you would like to see the classification of defects, so showstopper will be showing less than the 5%, the major functionality of the high one, the medium severity and low. And this is how you need to present the defect classification report in front of your customer, and your customer will be able to understand what are the different defects are exist in my website or my mobile application, and they will make the corrective action and the development team will fixing all these things now. So summary, we have discussed all about the blocker defects. Blocker is the one which are unable to proceed you further. Then we discuss about the critical defects is the one which without that one your functionality is not as per the expected, and the major defects is the one something the programmer written or mistakenly specify some step, and the minor and cosmetics are the one the spelling mistake, the content related stuff now. So I hope that you understand about the defect classification. Looking forward to another session. Thank you very much for watching this one.